Good afternoon. This is the UNO News Team reporting live from the University of Nebraska at Omaha. I'm Pete Madsen.
I'm Ashleigh Madsen.
And I'm Jackson Wohlenhaus. A recent performing arts aerosol study has shown that if wind players wear a surgical style mask with a slit for the mouthpiece and use bell covers on their instrument, aerosol emission is reduced. Following this protocol could mitigate the risk of spreading COVID-19 in bandits across America this school year.
The bell covers tested in the study were made from pantyhose of 80 denier in 2 layers. In this video, we are going to show you how to make 5 bell covers out of just 2 pairs of 80 denier pantyhose. Dad, do you know what denier is?
Denier? Never heard of it. How do you spell
IT. But that's not important right now. Jackson, do you know what denier is?
I think there's that Hoagie Carmichael song about denier. You know, the nearness of you.
The term denier originates from the Latin word denarius, which is an ancient Roman currency. Essentially, the denier refers to the thickness of the individual fibers which make up the threads of a fabric.
In other words, to be consistent with the performing arts aerosol study, you need to make sure the material of the pantyhose you use for the bell covers is a certain weight or thickness, 80 denier to be precise. The first step is to take the 80 denier thick fabric and double them up one inside of the other.
So the first bell cover that we're going to make is for a larger brass instrument like euphonium, baritone, French horn, or tuba. We were able to make this method work with a 3/4 size tuba with a 14.5-inch bell. Anything bigger than that might be a little tricky, but we know it'll work for at least some tubas. So this is just a removable bell from a baritone, and so we're going to use this as our example. We're going to use the waist portion of the pantyhose since this is for the larger bells. We're going to measure from the bottom of the waist portion, right where the leg starts, down about 8 inches or so. And we're going to cut across both legs, like so. The second leg. And then we're going to take the waist portion and stretch it over the bell. So, and the elastic will just kind of hold it in place. And then we're going to take this up a little bit. Take one leg here, and we're just going to tie a knot, just like you would with a balloon. We're going to pull it tight, like that, so that creates our seal. We're going to snip off the excess portion, like so. Now if this were to be a tuba bell, baritone, euphonium, we would do the same thing with this leg. We would tie it, but if it were to be French horn, we would just leave it. And then it's like a little sleeve where you can put your hand in the bell just like you always would when playing the French horn. And you can always trim it just a little bit. If the sleeve part is too long, just trim it to make it fit.
For the Woodman family, we are going to use the toe portion of the pantyhose, so make sure that when you line them up that they are perfect, and so you have an even cut for the toes. So for the saxophone family, you need about between 3 and 6 inches. For tenor and alto, you need to cut 4 inches from the toe. And with that, take it and put it over the bell. And since it is not the waist portion, there is no extra thing, and you can put your seam in here. So the 4 inches I cut is good for tenor and alto. You'll want 3 inches for soprano and 6 inches for bari. For clarinets, you'll need 2 inches, and bass clarinet, I think you'll need 3.
So for the trumpet portion, we will be using the toe. And you're going to want to make sure that the square part of the toes here are lined up perfectly. That will ensure that the doubling up will all end up cutting smoothly. So you're going to measure 4 inches from the end of the toe and then simply cut across. And once you do that, make sure you have 2 layers on either side and simply stretch it over the bell. And that's it. You're ready to play.
Okay, so what we have left then is 2 portions of the leg. There's no toe part and there's no waist part. And you need about 14 inches or so to make a bell covering for a trombone. For a bass trombone, about 14 inches is enough. You don't even need that much for smaller tenor trombones. So this is my Getson Custom Series 8.5 inch bell. And so we're just going to take this remaining portion here and slide it over. Like so, and get just enough to kind of cover the bell. Then we have some excess here. So we're just going to tie that in a knot like we did on the other low brass. So really you just need enough excess to be able to tie a knot. Pull it nice and tight. And then we'll just take a regular pair of scissors, cut off the excess, and now we've got a nice cover for the trombone. It slips on and off very easily, and for that matter you can also just leave it on probably and put it in your case just like this. You're ready to play. So that leaves you with 1 remaining piece of material, and with this last piece of material you could make another trombone bell if you wanted to, or by tying that knot that I showed you, you could also make another cover for either saxophone or trumpet. You would just need to leave enough material in doing so that you can tie that knot. And that's how you make 5 bell covers out of 2 pairs of pantyhose.